Alright everybody, how goes it? Hope you're all well. Well, we've just done the Nations Cup race, which today was at Catalunya from Barcelona, and we're doing it in the Nismo GT-R08, and this is the TV edition. You can watch the live on-board footage, which includes the qualifying, which is the video before this, if you wanted to watch that. But yeah, this is the TV edition, so let's get it underway. So it's the Group 2 cars, and the Group 2 cars are not that great at following each other due to the dirty air. So you can find yourself going around a corner following someone and you'll suddenly just lose the back end, or you'll end up understeering quite dramatically. So you've got to be really careful when you're following someone on these cars, and they don't like the green astroturf at all on the majority of the corners, so you've got to be careful with that as well. So qualifying didn't go to plan at all really. So we qualified in 13th. In timed practice I did a 1:36, and you can't really compare that to race conditions, as in timed practice there's no fuel or tyre wear, so your lap time's bound to be quicker. So in theory I should have done a mid 1:37, but I ended up doing a 1:39 I think. I need to learn how to push, or have the confidence to push a little bit more in qualifying. I'm just a little bit sceptical, and I want to get a banker lap in, if you like. So that resulted us in 13th there. And I was hoping it wasn't going to start me in the middle of the chicane, which luckily it didn't. But because I was 12th on the grid, I wanted to start on the medium tyres. For this race you had to use all three compounds, soft, mediums and hards. I wanted to start on the mediums, but I was too busy thinking about the actual race that I forgot to change my tyres before we went out onto the grid. So we're actually starting on the softs. So the plan was to do stint on the softs, come in, get the mediums out of the way, come back in, do one lap on hards, fill up with fuel, enough to last me the end of the race, and then finish the race on, well, it'd have to be another 2 stints on soft. But the plan at the moment was to just survive the first lap. Mainly because I was worried about the dirty air and losing the car. Plus you're on cold tyres, of course. And of course I didn't know anything of the tyre strategy for the cars in front. So I'm not really sure what they were starting. I imagine most people would have been starting on softs. Wasn't too much of a mixed grid either. You know, in this race you can choose whichever car you want, and there are only 6 Group 2 cars to choose from, but the majority were using the GTR 08 version. It does have the best grip, it's the best on tyres, so it was sort of a one-make race, but there was the odd difference, you know, that there's a Lexus there in front of me who turned out to be a bit of a pain. But I managed to get past him there, but he came straight back at me. Which slowed me down and pushed me into the car behind. But I knew he had a penalty, so I was going to get past him in the penalty zone, which is coming up. But even with fresh tyres at this stage, it's quite a struggle to follow someone round the corners just because of that dirty air. So he's going to serve his penalty now, so we got past him. So I was quite happy at the moment, up into 9th. For some reason, which meant a lot of the cars that overtook me were down this straight. And like I always say, it always takes me a few laps to get dialed in. I'm going to do one more lap on these tyres. I wasn't impressed with that. He obviously wanted to pit, but there's no need to try and cut across me. That could have ruined my race. So in theory you only really need to do 3 stops at this race, but because the pit lane loss was only roughly 4 seconds, it was worth doing a 4-stopper and doing a couple more, an extra stint on the soft tyres. You actually gained, I think it was about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds from doing that. So as you can see, we've moved up to 8th there, so the strategy at this point was working. A bit too deep into that corner. Tyres were obviously starting to, this is the 5th lap, so the tyres were getting worn and starting to lose my grip in the braking zones, so it was a good time to pit. I'm not sure if he had a tap there or not, but certainly binned it. So here we come in for the set of mediums. I didn't refuel at this point. So we came into the pits in 8th, and we only lost 2 positions really. So the pit lane loss is very small on this track. So I'd imagine if these guys didn't start on the mediums, they're on very worn softs. Whereas I'm on fresh mediums. So I was only planning to do 3 or 4 laps on these tyres. Come in, refuel, for the end of the race and put the hard tyres on, and then do 2 more stints on softs. Lost it a bit on that corner. I think I probably touched the AstroTurf a little bit. There's quite a gaggle of cars in front, so I was hoping I was going to catch all these guys up. But of course I've got no idea what tyres they were on at this point. And messed that sector up. A little bit too deep, and then a little bit of oversteer. When that happens, it takes you a couple of corners really to settle yourself back down again and get your rhythm back. Wasn't worried about those 2 cars behind me. I could see they were fighting, so that's just going to slow them both down. So I was just concentrating on moving forwards and hopefully catching the guy in front. I was in his slipstream just. You can see those 2 cars behind are falling behind, like I say, because they were fighting with each other. Bit of oversteer there, so that slowed me down a bit, which backed me up a little bit too much, more than I'd like. So I think that was three laps on the mediums. So this is a set of hards going on now. Bit of fuel. I knew I'd have to splash and dash at the next one, but if you just put a little bit in here and a little bit in there, then you're not wasting too much time overall if you just did it in one go. So the plan was to just do 1 lap on these hard tyres and get them out of the way, whereas a lot of the other cars, I imagine, would have been waiting until the last lap to put their hard tyres on. That's what I was hoping anyway. And then if I did manage to be behind someone in the last couple of laps whilst they were on hards and I was on softs, I was hoping to be able to get past them. You can see the difference in grip there on the hard tyres. It's running a little bit wide. So this was lap 9. So we're coming in now to get the next set of soft tyres. So I've used all the tyre compounds now. That's me done. So I can just use softs till the end of the race. But the softs only last 5 laps. So there is another pit stop required. But like I said, because the pit lane loss was so little, I was hoping I was going to be able to hold my own and move up the field whilst people were probably on worn mediums and hards at the end. And at this point I was just glad I was on fresh tyres with clean air in front of me. And it gives you the opportunity to push that a little bit more and not worry about the dirty air. You can tell that a lot of people are on different strategies to what I was on. The car behind now is on fresh tyres. Obviously I'm not sure which compound they were, but nevertheless they were fresh. Very deep there. That was just my mistake out braking myself really, but it allowed the car behind to catch right up to me. I'll be really careful over those sausage curbs through that last chicane. It really upset the car. If you get it right, it's quicker, but see, I defended a little bit there, but I was too cautious on the brakes because I was off the racing line, and this guy just goes right round the outside. But of course he was on fresher tyres as well. But he went very wide there, almost sent himself to the shadow realm, so I managed to get that position back, which was nice. I almost did the same to myself there. So these tyres were starting to show signs of wear now as well. I could see the gaggle of cars in front, so I knew there was positions to be had here, as long as I could keep my racing clean and smooth. And I was obviously, of course, hoping that they still had pit stops to make. I think one guy just went in there, but he's probably more than 4 seconds away from me, so he was probably going to come out just as I was coming alongside the pit exit. And there he is. So I'm in the 08 version of this car, and the 3 cars behind me are the 016 versions, which are slightly faster in a straight line, I believe, but they're not as good on the tyres as the 08. So you can see the difference in speed there. Taking that chicane a little bit too narrow. So here we go for our last pit stop, last set of softs. Didn't need any fuel. So those cars in front, so we haven't really gained that now. I was right behind those cars when I went into the pits. So you can see how small the pit lane loss is here at this track. So I'm on fresh softs now. So I was hoping to be able to catch these guys up as they would be on, well, whatever tyres they were on. They were probably 2 to 3 laps old. So there was only 5 laps to go now. So I should be able to catch them up fairly quickly. Plus there was the factor that they may have to still stop and put on the hard tyre for the last lap. Usually it's the last lap that they do. So that's what I was hoping. But of course, if they do pit, by the time they've done their pit stop, they're just going to come out right behind me. So I knew it wasn't safe. I knew there was a good chance that I'd get in front of them, but of course when you come out right behind you, they're on fresh tyres. And there's one guy gone in. Two guys gone in, sorry. So they'll probably come out roughly the gap that I am to that car in front. There they come, look. So I knew now at this point that holding on to 10th position was going to be hard work. And I don't think they were on the hard tyre either, because they managed to catch me quite quickly, really. I think maybe they're on at least mediums. I doubt they'll have, well, they could have put a set of softs on for the last couple of laps. But you see how quickly he's caught me up. And I don't know what this guy in front was doing. He was quite erratic in his driving, which slowed me down a lot. But I just didn't have the acceleration to get past him. So he slowed me down so much there that that guy got me on the exit of that corner. So in theory, 7th place was achievable, really. It was only 2.5 seconds down the road. But in the dirty air, it's not only hard to follow someone, certainly through the corners, but it does wear your tyres out more. So he didn't give me enough room there, really. I was trying to go up the inside, and the gap was there. But I spent too much time behind him, but I couldn't get past. Defensive here, so I had to go to the outside. I could have gone on the inside of him and sent it down the inside, but if I had, there would have been contact. And it could have ruined both our races. And I was getting understeer there, and the other guy managed to get through. Again, all down to the dirty air. think the car in front there, he must have been on a new set of softs for him to be able to overtake like that. But he got pushed wide. Well, I think he out-braked himself actually. But I knew because of his tyres he had the speed to get past me. I should have gone defensive there really. But again, I was starting to struggle on my tyres as well. As you can see, it's far too wide there on that corner. And on that corner. So I was gutted really. There's nothing I could do, there was no way I could match his speed on the tyres that we were both on. As you can see, he's pulled away quite a lot there. So it was a matter of just bringing the car home. And being dealt 11th place. So that was that. So I could have done better. But these cars aren't easy to drive, like I've said. So we'll take that and progress to the next round, which I'm not sure what it is, but hopefully we can do better. So thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Mixed emotions from myself, but it is what it is. So thanks for watching. Touring Car Cup is later on tonight at 9 o'clock. So that'll be the video following this one. So tune in for that if you're not up to anything. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you.